not a young man. State the obvious. Well, I know. Well, I don't. Folks, I don't walk as easy as I used to. I don't speak as smoothly as I used to. I don't debate as well as I used to. But I know what I do know. I know how to tell the truth. I know right from wrong. And I know how to do this job. I know how to get things done. And I know, like millions of Americans know, when you get knocked down, you get back up. I know what it took to take our economy from the depths of the pandemic to where it is today, the strongest economy in the world. I know what it'll take to bring this economy to everybody. I know what it'll take to rally the world to stand up against Putin and defend freedom, not yield to him. And I know what it'll take to keep the world safe and free for the years ahead. Folks, I give you my word as a Biden, I would not be running again if I didn't believe with all my heart and soul I can do this job. Because quite frankly, the stakes are too high. The stakes are too high. Donald Trump is a genuine threat to this nation. He's a threat to our freedom. He's a threat to our democracy. He's literally a threat for everything America stands for.
That was Joe Biden in North Carolina at what seems to be something of a redemption tour here, but I want to have an honest conversation. Last night's debate was bad. I want to talk about both Trump and Biden. I'll start with Joe. His job was to reassure the country that he was physically up for the job. His biggest vulnerability in this election is his age. He needed to show people that his age isn't a problem. He didn't do that. And that makes all of our lives more difficult. It's why I'm sure that my phone looked the way that all your phones looked, which is to say a lot of texts from people who are scared and upset and panicked. I don't know what's going to happen with Biden. Obviously, there's talk among the pundit class about him staying in and fighting. There's talk about him dropping out. I'm not concerned about that. I have no control over it. It's not my priority right now. But here's what I do know as far as Joe Biden is concerned. I'm worried about the campaign and about Biden's ability to be a candidate, but I'm not worried about his ability to be president. I know he can do the job because he is doing the job and doing it more effectively than anyone else in our lifetimes. And I'm not just blowing smoke up his ass. The things that Joe Biden has accomplished defy all odds in the world. If you'd have told me in January of 2021 that in the aftermath of Donald Trump, in the aftermath of the insurrection, and COVID, that we would have a Democratic president who could get the government to negotiate healthcare, that we would have record climate spending, that we would have capped out-of-pocket costs and insulin costs and inhaler costs, a gun safety bill, an infrastructure bill, veteran healthcare, a clean energy revolution with 800,000 manufacturing jobs, 15 million total jobs, a record high stock market, wages outpacing inflation. You could have knocked me over with a gust of wind. So let's not pretend for a second that for all of his issues as a candidate, that Joe Biden as president is not up for the job, because we would be hard-pressed to find anyone, literally anyone, who could do it better and actually get it done. And I say get it done because that's owed in large part to his ability as a longtime centrist Democrat to even make progressive agenda items seem more moderate just by virtue of the fact that they're being embraced and pushed and passed by Joe Biden. That means that Joe Biden could do what a President Bernie Sanders might not be able to do just because of who Joe Biden is. And look, no matter how left you are, you cannot deny that Joe Biden has governed more progressively than we could have asked for. This is a man who's made his career, again, as a mostly centrist Democrat who has brought in the left, who's aligned himself with folks like Bernie Sanders, who became a voice for young people. He took, frankly, unbelievable action on climate, on student loan relief, on gun safety, on marijuana, on healthcare, all of which is to say If it's Joe Biden on the ballot in November, which, judging by the clip at the top of this video, all signs are pointing to right now, then I will enthusiastically support him because I know he is capable, I know that the people around him are capable, and I know that the results he's delivered are undeniable. And the second part of why I will enthusiastically support him is because his opponent in this election is Donald Trump. So let's get to that part. Donald Trump stood on that stage for 90 minutes and lied his fucking face off, which, by the way, he always does. Did he sound more in control? Did he seem stronger? Yes, but that's a question of style. The substance of Trump's performance was a disaster. And yes, that is even relative to Joe Biden. Trump lied about abortion, claiming that the whole country wanted Roe to be overturned. He lied about his affair with Stormy Daniels. He lied about his climate agenda, claiming that he wants clean air and water when he just asked for $1 billion from oil and gas CEOs in exchange for whatever they want. He lied that he called veterans suckers and losers, which was revealed by his own general, John Kelly. He lied about accepting the results of a free and fair election. He lied virtually every time he opened his mouth. The danger posed by Donald Trump cannot be overstated. The guy is a criminal, a narcissist, a serial liar, and an aspiring dictator. If Donald Trump becomes president, that will mean the end of abortion rights, of contraception, IVF, climate protections, clean energy, LGBT rights, gun safety, same-sex marriage, and democracy itself. And that's clear. Clear enough that I think Americans will turn out, if for nothing else, than to ensure that Donald Trump stays as far away from the levers of power as humanly possible. So my job, our job, stays the same. We're not here as the Joe Biden fan club. We're not in a cult. We don't pray to Joe Biden. We're not married to Joe Biden. He is not our deity. We are here to protect democracy. That's our job. And when you think about it, with that in mind, our job is actually quite simple. It is to elect Democrats up and down the ballot because this MAGA Republican Party is promising to tear it down. If Joe Biden is at the top of the ticket, we enthusiastically vote for him because he will protect democracy and Trump won't. The same goes for the Senate and the House and state legislatures. We are in this fight, again, not because we're part of the Joe Biden fan club. We are in this fight because our rights are being taken away, our democracy is in peril, and there is one party, and only one party, that's willing to protect it. And our candidates are not perfect, and they don't claim to be, but the choice in front of us is clear, and it is a binary choice. So this is my advice to myself, just as much as it is to the rest of you. Take a deep breath. Remember what we're fighting for, and recognize that for the 81 million Americans who showed up in November of 2020 to vote for Joe Biden and against Donald Trump, that they understood the stakes of another Trump term then, and they will presumably understand them now. And for those who don't, it's our job to remind them. It's our democracy. We're not absolved from doing the work here. We all have agency. So we keep making the argument that this election is a referendum on the kind of country we want to live in moving forward. Is that a country that respects women's reproductive rights or one that seeks to strip them away? Is it a country that respects LGBT rights or one that doesn't? Is it a country that takes seriously the existential threat of climate or one that panders to fossil fuel companies? Is it a country that seeks to curb gun violence or one that will allow for the proliferation of weapons of war? Is it a country that wants to make healthcare more affordable or one that will entrench the status quo? I know the kind of country that I want to live in next year and 10 years down the line, and the one that I want my kids and grandkids to inherit. And there's only one party that will get us there, and that's the message from now until November. I've got a really exciting announcement. I've written a book. It's called Shameless. This book explores how Republicans have exploited their historical branding while attacking our democracy, how the media has proven itself a willful participant, and how Democrats can learn from this to rebalance the political scales and save our democracy. It has been a lifelong dream of mine to write my own book, and so I'd like to ask you to pre-order it by clicking the link right here on the screen. And if you buy within this pre-order period, your book is going to come with a signed nameplate. As you know, I've never had a single sponsor on my channel. I don't ask for money or anything like that, but if you're looking for a way to support me, this is hands down the best way to do it. So again, follow the link right here on the screen, and thank you from the bottom of my heart for pre-ordering Shameless. And as always, make sure to subscribe to see more of my content.